Hey guys, in this tutorial we're going to talk about Nuxt 3 plugins. A plugin is like a function or it's like a function that you can add to your Nuxt app. So when you go to Nuxt, they don't quite tell you much about what a plugin is really. They sort of assume you know what it is. Nuxt automatically reads the files on your plugins, but Nuxt is based on views. So when you go to view and you say view plugins, they're gonna tell you what a plugin is, right? Let me see. Yeah, so right here, he said plugins are self-contained code that usually add app level functionality to view. So it's sort of part of your application, you know? So you write it once and it's part of your application. And the Nuxt plugins work the same way. So I wrote this little plugin. When you look at the front end, I mean the UI, you see today's date comes from a plugin. See, Saturday 19th November. So all it does is it just tells you today's date, right? And by the way, this is the Nuxt 3 Tailwind Starter Kit. It's absolutely free. So if you want to get it, it comes with pages, a layout, a user head composable, a plugin, this little plugin we're talking about here. And it's absolutely free. It's designed to help you learn how Nuxt 3 works so you could build your app faster. So just click the link in the video below and get your own copy, your own completely free Nuxt 3 Tailwind Starter Kit. Yeah, we use Tailwind. Okay, so how does this plugin work? This is how it works. In Nuxt, you create a plugin directory, right? I'm gonna actually delete that. I was gonna do something else. Okay, so you have to create a plugin directory in Nuxt, and then you can name your plugin whatever name, you know. You can have folders in here too, but when you go to the Nuxt documentation, where's that? They tell you that only top level direct plugins are registered, right? So if you have a plugin here, this would be registered. Yeah, and then just the index one if this is a folder, right? Okay, so let's say we have this plugin here, right? And all it does, the way you write your plugins is you write export default define Nuxt plugin, and then the only thing you pass to it in an asynchronous function is the Nuxt app. You can name this whatever you want, but you know, when you're writing code, you want to name things what they are. It's easier when you start to debug. So this is an instance of your application, your Nuxt app. So on your Nuxt app, you put today's date, right? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Today date. Today's date. So to get today's date, I used day.js, which you can get from npm, and all it does, it helps you. It's a little library that helps you deal with dates. So when we say here const now equals day.js, we're just grabbing an instance of day.js, and then we're saying today. You take this now, put it in day.js, and then you format it in this order, which you can find more documentation at the day.js site. So we get the date, and then we export the plugin, and what we export is on the Nuxt app, today's date, we make that today. So when we go, close this. So when we go to the home page, this is a component that's based on the home page. What we do is we say const Nuxt app equals use Nuxt app. This allows us to use the current Nuxt instance and whatever is on it, whatever plugin is on that instance. That's that. And then we say const today equals Nuxt app today's date. It's gonna be like that, yeah. Today's date. That should work, right? Let's take a look at it. So this is it. This is today's date. Now there's another way that you can write your plugin. It's a little bit simpler, and it's called using a provider. Now, you know, all these terms can get a little bit confusing, and the Nuxt 3 documentation isn't really complete. It's not even really close to being complete. So some things can be harder, and that's why I created this site to just help you build your Nuxt app faster. So he's using the provide, and if you take a look, if you really look closely, there's a bug there. That's a bug there. You see that? Okay, but that's okay. You know what? The guys at Nuxt are just like us. We make mistakes too. So how do we then make this easier for us, right? We get the Nuxt instance, and then we put that, but we can make this even easier. So we're gonna create, in your plugin, we're gonna create another file. We're just gonna call this today. Actually, I'm gonna type it today. And we're gonna do the same thing we did here. So import day.js from day.js. Now, of course, you must have day.js. And if you don't know what day.js is, if you go to just type in npm day.js, and Google should be able to find that for you. It's a little library that helps with dates, you know. So to go and get it, you gotta do npm i.day.js. I usually use yarn, so it's just yarn. I think yarn install day.js. Then once you do that, it's gonna be part of your app, and then you're gonna do this: import day.js from day. I'm just gonna copy this because I already have it. I'm gonna copy the whole thing. Yep. I'm gonna import day.js from day.js now. That is now, the time now. And then we're gonna say today. Okay. Now we're gonna export our plugin, right? So export default define Nuxt plugin. Define Nuxt plugin. And then we are going to create an anonymous function which will do nothing. I mean, we won't have any parameters in that. Okay. And then we're gonna write return. Come on. Return provide, right? Column like that. And then all we need to do, let me look at the code again, the documentation. Oh, hello, and then that. So when you do that, all you need to do now is just say, I'm gonna call this today. That's gonna be what will be on the Nuxt app. You see that? And then we're just gonna call that today, right? So this today is this today's date. And then we're gonna put this is what's going to show up on your Nuxt plugin. I mean, as your Nuxt plugin. Sorry about that. Okay. So when you go to the home component, right, we're using this method. When you look at the UI, this is the home component. The about component says here no date yet. When you look at the about component, it's right here. Today's date customer play, but there's no date yet. So how do we do that then? Right? You see how here in where is that? We actually say const Nuxt app and then use Nuxt app and all that. But there's an easier way now, which I think is easier. Right. So let me look at that. So all we gotta do here is to say, you know, use Nuxt app and then get that component. This is alternatively, you can also use it down here. So now that means that we don't have to use it here. If we just say today, no matter where we are, it will show up. So let's try that, right? So we're here. We don't even need this anymore. And we go to the no date yet, and all we just say is $today. and then what shows up in the front end, I mean in the UI, boom, look at us. Look at that. That's beautiful, right? That's beautiful. You don't even need, this is today's date, right? This is on the home page, but this is now the about page. See that? This is today's date, and you don't even need JavaScript. I mean, you know, the script tag. We're using JavaScript all over. But, well, actually, yeah, you don't even need that. So just imagine what you can do with this, right? So you have a plugin called today. It gets you the date. And all you need to do is just type in today. That means no matter where you are, no matter what component you are in, right? So let's go to the contact content component, which is this contact page. As you can see, there's no date here, but we're gonna put the date right here, right after the started right. So contact content, man, that's hard. And we're just gonna say we're gonna have a paragraph here, and we're gonna make it strong so we can easily see it. And then we're just gonna say today, just like that. Boom, look at that. So imagine what you could do with this now, that you can write a plugin and use it anywhere in your app, and you don't have to even call the use Nuxt app composable. All right, guys, I hope you really learned something today. So this is how this works. And just as I mentioned before, this is a Nuxt 3 starter kit, and you can get it completely free. It looks just like this. You can get it completely free. Just click the link below, download it, and get your own Nuxt 3 starter kit. It comes with Tailwind. It has pages, so it can help you learn how pages work. You have 3 pages to start with. You have a layout, which will helps your app look good. You see, all this is a layout here, and I show you how it looks in the back end here. You see that? I mean, in the code. Layout, default. There you go. It has use head composable, which will help. The use head is what helps us have the title up there. So when you go to the about page, that use head, where is it? Wait, it's on the page, rather, not the component, the page. Pages, about page, right there, use head. So this helps with your search engine optimization. And then we also have components, of course. You can see how the components are laid out. Try to make them semantic so you understand what they mean. Okay, and you also get TypeScript. You learn some TypeScript, you know. Very good. So click the link below, get your own copy of this Nuxt 3 Tailwind starter kit, and I hope you learned how to write plugins in Nuxt 3. All right, I'll talk to you soon. Shalom.